Have you ever had this feeling? I mean, seriously, you seem like you get up each day and literally, you don't even have to read the newspaper or anything because it will get to you how more and more things just leave you asking yourself, seriously. And then the next thing that happens to you is that you go, and now this. How many of us have actually experienced this? Well, I did this morning because I read an article about comets. And it seems, are you ready for this? Humanity, science, mankind, we don't know nothing. Isn't that a great double negative? But seriously, it appears every day something comes along that questions our knowledge. And the more that we get into it, truly, the less we know. So, comets, you know, since the earliest records, comets have always held a place in mankind's consciousness. Mysterious, awe, um, it can be overwhelming. And as I said, it does appear now that we really don't understand comets. We don't, for the longest time, at least for me, growing up, going to school in the 60s and early 70s, that where it came to astronomy, the science of the day was that comets are nothing more than a dirty snowball. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case because we're finding now that there are so many comets. I don't think many of us fully comprehend what's happening. It's as if suddenly we took off the sunglasses and we began to see that it's a lot different than what we have thought. We don't really know what happened to cause the asteroid belt. A lot of postulations because the ones that were brought up in the very beginning, that our solar system is not stable, our solar system is not in these perfectly aligned elliptical orbits, that in fact our solar system is at anything right now is an aberration of not normal. Because even when we tried dating this, and it was all in our imagination. Hey, listen, they made it up. Seriously, they were guessing, and they're still guessing. And as I said, they're not ice, folks. Actually, it now appears that they're rocks, solid cores. And we don't even understand the process that we once thought. The orbits now are becoming, well, anything but predictable, anything but expected. And it seems to be coming from all different directions. And when we get really past Earth, maybe we could say the moon, possibly Mars, but anything going beyond that, we really don't know. It's all hypothetical. And now that mankind has actually landed 3 different probes landing on comets, one was an asteroid. We're finding out the composition is beyond anything that we could have imagined. And as I said, it seems like we have come into a region of space. Maybe this was here all along. It's hard to say. No one knows. But they're coming at us from every direction. It's really strange when you begin to read the latest science as to with our solar system. Now, the standard model has always been, well, we had the asteroid belt, then you had the Kuiper belt, and then you had the Oort cloud. Doesn't seem that that's right. Did you know that the Oort cloud was hypothetical? They got no evidence for it. It doesn't exist, only on paper. Now, I've been contending, amongst others, that what's happened here, we've actually entered into a celestial debris cloud. Good evidence for it. It appears that this debris cloud, when it was first noticed, oddly enough, around 2012, and then we began to see things. And as I said, you look at the Kuiper belt, it's all theory, folks. We don't know. We don't even know the asteroid belt. Shocking, isn't it? We know very little about what's out there. And that's really closer to us than Mars, than any other, well, destination. We know this. We continually pick up odd anomalies. That's not meant to happen with these particular instruments. There is a theory that is now being postulated by more and more outside, let's say, mainstream science, because quite frankly, mainstream science, folks, in less than 10 years will be proven wrong. Now, there is a hypothesis out there that says if we could see the full spectrum, this is what we might see. It might be, in fact, that the diminished view that we have here on this planet so alters what really is out there. It seems fantastic, I know. But then again, I challenge you, how would you know? You can't see in the full spectrum. The ancient skies, the alien skies that used to be seen by our ancestors, probably somewhere before 12,000 BC. They say that Venus came in as a comet. They say as well that the other planets were much closer than what they are today. Evidence shows as well that it wasn't, how shall we say, long periods of time of evolution that stripped Mars. Oh, no, no, no. Maybe more recent than anyone could imagine. The depictions that we have, only from the spoken word passed down to generation, and in some very obscure writings, they talk about a far different sky. The moon. We're now finding out that this object may very well be artificial. May be a hologram. Could be hollow. Apparently, there are people out there, and I would suggest you go, and you can't go to his YouTube channel anymore because they deleted it. But the gentleman formerly known as Crow777, who recorded the first wave lunar anomaly. I captured it. Going back in my archives now, I was out in Carlsbad, California in 2015 in October. Caught the same thing, and I'll be pulling that up tonight. But yes, there's something going on. Now, some try to say, well, this is merely a proof of the flat earth. I don't buy that. What I do buy more is that we have changed our position in space. And this new place of space is not what we have been used to. Whether it be graviton waves, where it would be some other type of wave, of an energy we don't know of, we know something has changed. Our views now of asteroids have to be rewritten. It was once thought that these were relics of early solar systems, that as a result of the primordial collisions, but it appears that isn't the case. Most are peanut-shaped, believe it or not, if you can believe that. Isn't this odd, isn't it? Peanut-shaped. Now the question becomes, why are asteroids more peanut-shaped than where we always thought they should be more spherical? The questions now come fast and furious. Why? How? When? Where? We're starting from page 1 again. And it's becoming more and more common. So this doesn't make sense. The old theory, the old model doesn't work. How do you form objects that are so mismatched? How is that done? Listen, astrophysicists can't explain gravity yet, but I contend something has disturbed our solar system. This is inbound, folks. This is 13 AU away. Now, I know that seems like, well, what does 13 AU really mean? Well, let me just tell you what it means. An AU, rounded off to 100 million miles. All right. Earth is 1 AU from the sun. This should not be happening. There's no energy from the sun to cause any type of reaction. Particularly for one this, do you realize that what we're seeing here, they say, is as big as the Earth's orbit around the sun? That's very bright, folks. So again, the Oort cloud, only a theory. We don't know. The honest truth is, we don't even understand our planets. We don't understand their orbits. We don't even understand our solar system, much less something outside our solar system. No evidence. None. All theory. And all the pictures you see are artist depiction. They plant the image as it happens to us all the time. So, 11,000 BC, comet hits Earth. There's 2 cataclysms. The first one is fire. The second one is water. Now, there is a white paper. I want to show you this real quick. So this is a white paper decoding Göbekli Tepe. And on now that there has been considerable digging, archaeological excavations of Göbekli Tepe, and we now know that around 11,000 BC, plus or minus 250 years, and this closely tracks with the Younger Dryas event, that Earth was hit cataclysmically by a comet. This white paper, all 18 pages of it, gets into the evidence that has been brought forth to date. It looks at this from the carbon-14 samplings, the other samplings as they continue to dig. It seems like the deeper they go, the more. They find as well that this was purposely done. Whoever the people were purposely covered up these monoliths, monuments. We know, for instance, the geology of the scablands and similar features across North America indicate a suddenly melting of the longitude ice sheet and immense flooding across large areas of North America. We now know for positive that we can now correlate the two events, an abrupt change in climate, to much colder and drier conditions for over the next 1,000 years. Analysts of the Greenland ice cores and the archaeological sites across North America, which reveal unusual spikes in the concentrations of particular substances, especially platinum, signaling a major event potentially of cosmic origin. The apparent near simultaneous extension of the mini megafauna across North America continent, the apparent sudden change in human culture in North America, the end of the Clovis culture, a distinct layer of black or gray deposits across large areas of North America, the continent, and Northern Europe, called the black mats, widely dispersed indicators of immense event, nanodiamonds, magnetic separables, and round and high temperature melted glass. For those of you who would like a copy of this, send me an email and then I'll put you on this and I'll allow you to actually download it for yourself. You should read this. It's a startling find. We now know something wiped us out. Now there is a 6,500 year period of quietness. No signs of humans, no signs of anything. It was a devastating effect. And as you can see, this, for those who are truly searching, you need to see this. They were us. They saw something. So we know the Earth was hit by a comet. We know this because the data is now there. It confirms it. And again, history is being rewritten every day. So you take the Younger Dryas hypothesis, because right now, until it becomes absolute, everything is still a hypothesis. Every religion is still a hypothesis. But you can see here that we know by the theory that there was something before us. Something. This is from the Greenland core samples. And then something hit. And it was cataclysmic. Changed the course of mankind all the way around. This is where they suspect it hit. This is the debris field. When the comet hit right outside where we would say close would be the Fertile Crescent Valley, your Garden of Eden, just a little north of that. The debris cloud, and probably for the most part, have impacted the whole world, but this was where the cataclysm hit immediately. So we now know for certain an event happened. Mankind was here. He recorded it. This is substantial, folks. And as we learn more, as the archaeologists begin to bring in all the other experts, as they begin to find the cuneiform, the cipher, and as they find more and more of these monuments, more and more of them are showing up, we will learn what this culture was. Right now, it's largely ambiguous as to the true meaning. But we do know this. By all evidence of the earth, there were continued impacts. The earth was upended. There was now good evidence to begin to support that there was a secondary impact. The first one burned the planet. The second one unleashed the waters of the deep. Remember, planet Earth is a water planet. Always has been. Now, as to whether that water was in an abundance on the surface, that's debatable. But the water is and has always been here. There is now a theory that below the mantle, there is a subterranean ocean that covers most of the planet. It has more water underneath the Earth than it does on top of the Earth. That when the second comet hit, it pierced so far into the fragile crust that it did release what we now call the deluge, the Great Flood. This is where the water came from. Yet, there is even more. We see strange things around our solar system, around our sun. We see objects, things, crafts. We don't know what they are. At best, you can give speculation. And the strangeness continues. Are we being contacted? Is disclosure coming? Are we finding that there's a breakdown in the system? Because every day it is becoming more and more clear strange things are happening. I just bring this part to you for your consideration. Be kind to one another.